Welcome back to What the Flick. I'm Matt, that's Christy, that's Alonso. As we get closer and closer towards true crossover between movies and TV, one thing I know I wasn't expecting is the constant parade of reboots of TV shows the same way we get reboots of movies. The latest one is Roseanne, come back to ABC, and already up for a second season just based on one episode that a lot of people watched, including, I guess, well, I don't know if he did watch, but at least President Trump has congratulated Roseanne on her success.
On her ratings, which is all that matters in Trump world.
Yeah.
How did it rate?
Somebody did a count of like the number of times he's used the word ratings in tweets versus human rights. Something like 67-3 or something crazy like that.
Well, it's less characters.
Yeah, this is true.
How was Roseanne?
I mean, on a purely like sitcom level, yeah, it's funny. These are talented people. These are well-established characters with some new ones thrown in. It was fine. I was never a giant Roseanne fan for the first go round, but I think it works. I get what they're going for. But it's the elephant in the room, though, is Roseanne Barr and Roseanne Barr's Trump affiliation, and Roseanne Barr retweeting crazy conspiracy theories, and Roseanne Barr calling Parkland survivors, whatever they're being called today, and all that, whatever bullshit. I'm sorry. Anyway,
we gotta bleep you along.
We're talking about Roseanne. It's hard not to.
I'm the one not cursing here. I want to be on record.
Anyway, and so what the show is doing though is you now have like Darlene has a son who is sort of gender ambiguous, and DJ has a daughter who is black, and everybody's all understanding and open armed about this, which is great on the one hand, but on the other hand, it's this they're trying to sell us this character who voted for Trump, is unapologetic about that, thinks it was a good idea because, quote, he talked about jobs, unquote, and is open-hearted and loving to this gender ambiguous child and this black girl. And it's like, what are you trying to sell me here? This notion of like Trumpistas not being racist and not being, anti-trans. In fact, Roseanne, very anti-trans herself. Like if you go back and look at her tweets about bathrooms and stuff. So if she wants to give us this character of like working class woman who supported Trump, and then sort of leaned into that and barreled through the actual implications of it, that would be one thing. But I think that Roseanne herself, the actress, doesn't understand the full implications of it. So she's giving us this character that is a fantasy version of a Trump voter that doesn't exist, because most of Trump support came from wealthy white people. There was a chunk of the working class that voted for him, but not to the extent that they're trying to sell it on this show. And then the notion that also like that racism and transphobia aren't going to be issues to this person who voted for Trump. This just feels like a weird bill of goods to me.
I guess it'd be interesting if the Roseanne character is intended as like an Archie Bunker figure, right? If this is intended as like satire of people who are closed-minded and surrounded by others who are black or trans, and they enlighten her whether she wants it or not.
I've seen that defense,
it's not happening.
That's not what the show's doing.
That's not what this needs to be, right? And as you say, like Roseanne, the character, and Roseanne, the person, are so inextricably intertwined that there's no way to separate them. Old tweets are coming up where she's like using the C word, and and all the crazy conspiracy stuff. What was the tweet over the weekend about how Trump has freed the sex slaves?
Yes.
Like what? Like
because
between the 9th and 10th hole at Trump International?
That's this loony conspiracy that I don't want to go dive down about the storm.
Many bulletin boards on there.
It's like Pizzagate, but dumber and more dangerous.
Yeah, and that's what
she's espousing this stuff.
But then she did delete, I want to say, like old tweets.
Well, she got rid of her old account entirely, I think. But nothing dies on the internet.
And then Tom Arnold's going after her on Twitter, like, ask Roseanne about XYZ that she believes. It's crazy.
I mean, what I don't get is the idea that, like, yes, big ratings out of the gate, because obviously there was a high curiosity factor and a desire to see how this thing was going to go. That you extrapolate that into, you get 2 seasons now.
That was quick. I actually will be shocked if season 2 happens. Given like all we know, given the more that we know, given how this thing is escalating in terms of her off-camera, on Twitter persona, I'd be shocked if this actually does occur.
Let's put this in perspective. this first season is only 10 episodes, right? So it's not like we're looking at
22.
Right. It's not like we're looking at a traditional 22 to 27 episode season that you sometimes with really big shows would get. This is only 10 episodes, so really it's like, yeah, we'll do another season. I mean, really, it's the equivalent to saying
Westworld.
Well, or to me, it's the equivalent, especially for a sitcom, where the production costs are noticeably lower, even though, yes, you have stars here, the cost of that talent is gonna be high, but still the below the line production costs are gonna be a lot less than a single camera drama that you might order a half season and it debuts so well, like the executives say, okay, sure, we'll round out the half season. To me, or round out the rest of the season. That, to me, is not that big a difference here, partly because it comes on as if it's a mid-season replacement. It's not like it's debuting in the fall, right? Which I think is also a little bit telling. Okay, sure, we'll put it back in the fall and maybe a half season. Who knows?
I'll say this: if you want to see a traditional 3-camera sitcom about real working class Americans and their struggles, watch One Day at a Time on Netflix.
That's supposed to be really good.
It is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of reboot, speaking of our childhood coming back, yes, and not Dynasty.
And not Dynasty.
That'd be fun, though.
So
I miss the 80s.
Dynasty had its moments.
What are the 80s sitcoms we want to see get rebooted? Flow.
Oh my God.
Taxi.
Mama's
Taxi,
Family.
but it's Lyft drivers.
Right? What I want to see. You know what I want to see. You know what I want to see, and yet I don't, is Moonlighting. I love Moonlighting so dearly.
Yeah,
it was
but Moonlighting
like
only if it's
TV.
I think we talked about this.
Pre-kissing Moonlighting.
Didn't we talk about this when we talked about Movie Jail for? We did when we talked about
Bruce
Movie
Willis,
Jail.
yeah.
Right, Moonlighting.
Yeah, not with Bruce and Sybil. Like reboot it with a new couple.
I think what you need to do is you bring it back with Bruce and Sybil.
Wow,
and then
Because the tension is real.
Right, because the tension, part of what made that tension is it would acknowledge how much of a problem it was, and so you acknowledge that you bring Bruce Willis back because his career is, and Sybil Shepherd, that you metatextually reboot that show. I think that would be really funny.
You're welcome, TV executives.
As long as Mr. Pesto comes back.
Yeah, I mean, look, they tried to bring back, sort of tried to bring back Battle of the Network Stars.
Yeah.
Right.
But no one's gonna wear those short shorts like they used to in the 70s.
Yeah, I was saying, the 70s Battle of the Network Stars, that was when networks could make you do things. And now it's like, nope, you are not making me do this.
Bruce Jenner versus Gabe Kaplan running a relay race. Oh, it was so good.